VOS TV. This is Political Insight. My name is Dan Nessie Isimekai, and if you've been following us on our newspaper reviews on VOS TV, you would know that the state of this country right now is not really something that we can paint with a perfect picture. And that's one of the reasons why we are here on Political Insight to talk about certain things. Because on Political Insight, we talk about political matters, socio-economic matters, and generally issues that affect you. And we create an agenda and then find a way to move forward. And with us this morning in the studio, helping us to do that, we have Patrick Uholo, a political affairs analyst and a social commentator, to talk about the state of the nation, and we are projecting towards the future. Good morning and welcome to Political
Good morning.
Insight.
Glad to be on VOS TV. Just to correct a little bit, my last name is Eholo. It's Eholor. I'm the president founder of One Law Foundation. So it's a pleasure.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for that correction. Now we're looking at the state of the nation. If you've been following the newspaper, the front pages of our national dailies, let's not even go back to 2020. Let's start from 2021 now, because to a large extent it's still a fresh year. We're just at the end of April. It has not really been a beautiful sight in our national dailies. And you know what they say about the front pages of the national papers. It reflects the actions and the mindset of the people of that country. And security issues have been just painting the front pages of our national dailies from the north to the south, all around the country. And it is becoming very worrisome for people, for areas like the South right now, considering that we are just next to the southeast now. Let's start with that. What is your take on the security situation in the country at this point in time?
Well, I'm glad you're asking those questions. It's not really about my take. It's what is our take. It's beyond me as an individual, as a citizen. I'm sure that you saw what happened in the floor of the House a day or 2 days ago, where you have a serving senator from Kogi State lamenting the state of affairs of this country, crying, literally crying, like a baby. I have seen this coming years ago. But I didn't want to sound like Nostradamus of our time, because many of my predictions have come to pass. And I think that it's time for us to ask for the need of support, either from the American government or from the Israeli government. I can also tell you that from the late Abacha, who was our president, he said, I'm quoting him, that when you have insurgency that lasts over 10 days, you know that the military themselves or the government in place have hands in it. I've said this many times ago, okay? And what put us here today, I hope and pray that we recover from it. It is hatred. I'm not a politician. I am not somebody who believes in separatists. I believe that a lot of people sacrifice for Nigeria of today that I and you try to enjoy, because a lot of blood was spilled during the Civil War for one Nigeria. But however, because of the hatred they have for Goodluck Jonathan, I'm not here to mention it, a lot of people from the South betrayed us. They were out there protesting in Ojota every other day that Jonathan was clueless, all right? Setting an agenda for a president who I have never seen in my life, who had no clue about governance. And that's why we are here today. The country is burning. The IPO is burning in the east. Yeah, the Boko Haram have taken over the north. We have banditries, we have kidnapping, we have armed robbery in the south. So nowhere is safe as of today in Nigeria. I have seen this coming. I have been screaming, I have been shouting, I've been writing a lot of every day I set up an agenda as if I have no other thing other than Nigeria. But I hope we are able to recover from this, because we are in a place now that if we don't do something urgently, I'm afraid there will be no country called Nigeria.
Okay, now, because the way things are going, a lot of people are projecting towards 2023, and this is already April. And basically by February 2023, we are definitely going to be, if not already in the thick of elections, but approaching the thick of elections in the country, presidential elections to be precise. And right now we are seeing lots of people coming out. And some people have mentioned in some areas that if the country continues like this, there might not be an environment to conduct elections in 2023?
Well, if you don't have a country, would you have an election? We are going to, we are in a situation where in 2 or 3 months, our country might look like Somalia. Our capital, Abuja, might look like Mogadishu. So, I mean, we should be thinking of how we can calm the excess of unrest in our country that are talking about election. I'm sure that there might be no election holding if we do not approach the present situation. Listen, what brought us here, let's not be shy about this, is nepotism and favoritism. We know, I was part of the people who started the agitation that the serving general, that they were clueless. They didn't know what they were doing. They had pot bellies, they were sharing billions. Money were meant to buy ammunition, they were sharing it.
Is that the
of course,
security chief?
Of course,
okay.
Of course, all right? And the other people amplified it. I went to the Senate, I went to the House of Rep, I went to the marketplace. I was taking a risk for this country because I know that it was dangerous the way the service chief were behaving, all right? And after that, we succeeded in getting rid of them, but they were rewarded again by the presidency giving them a ambassadorial position. Where I am coming from, I've lived in Canada for 34 years. I'm a dual citizenship, okay? You reward people when they do what is right. You don't reward people for failure. And that's why we are here where we are. And now, if you look at the quota system has failed. This is not a Fulani country. This is Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us. If you look at every parastatus is head by the Fulanis. Are you saying that in the East or in the South, they are not qualified people? That's the question you should be asking. Because they have their agenda. We are multi-ethnicity in this country, and that should be respected. But so far, for some of us, we felt that it has not been respected. And that's why we're having the problem we're having. If you put the people who are qualified to represent you, you get a better result. I'm not saying that all the Fulanis are not educated, all right? Even to the, I want to use the word, the Northerner people, which is the Hausa people, they are also not benefiting from this state government because the Fulani has their agenda. They want to Islamize, this is what they call Islamization of the country. We are not a Muslim country. We are Christians, we are Buddhists, we are pagan, we are Krishna. But the Fulani thinks that it is their birthright to nominate the IG of police, to nominate the chief of army staff, to nominate the ports controller, to nominate the immigration controller, to nominate the NIS. That is why we're having the problem we're having, because it's about nepotism and favoritism. And I say it equivocally. I say it with all my strength that I am guilty of the offense. So sorry, I have a brace on my teeth, so my word might not sound properly. All right, that President Muhammadu Buhari is a sectional leader. He's somebody who has his own agenda, because I voted for him. I thought he was a president for all of us, because he said, I am not, I'm for nobody and for everybody. Yes. But it clearly displayed that it's for the cow, not for the Nigerians.
All right, we've addressed the issues, mainly the problems, and how we've gotten here. Now, just recently, the president is calling on the United States to relocate the AFRICOM from Germany to Africa, bringing it to the theater of operations to see if that could help curb the security challenges being faced, not just in Nigeria, but also in Africa. Now, if that is done, and maybe certain other things, what do you think can, if that is done, can be added to help the security situation to ensure that going forward, things would look better for the country in 2023?
Well, I think it's done on the presidency now, because if you don't give, you can't get. Americans have been willing to help us. But because President Muhammadu Buhari has his own agenda, he wants all of us to be a Muslim by every means necessary. And that's why he hasn't raised off his hand to ask for help. All right? If they move it here, I'll give you an example. Americans were kidnapped some few months ago. American got here in the night, rescue
That's in Nigeria.
rescue the kidnapper, eliminate the bastards, and took the American to America. Okay, so if America is here today, the nonsense will stop because America will be here to protect not only the interest of the sovereignty of Nigeria, but also protect the interest of America. So it's give and take, and I support that wholeheartedly. And I know that the Americans that I know will not disappoint us. I have lived in Canada for 35 years of my life. I have dual citizenship. I know how things is done there. But in this country, we take one step forward and take 10 steps backward. And that's why we are in this quagmire that we are today.
So what can you postulate now could be a solution? Because looking at the Southeast now, every day, police security installations are being attacked and razed to the ground. If you go towards the north, the other day, the governor of Niger State will say bandits are just 2 hours away from the capital of the country. And all these things seem scary. How can these issues be addressed? Some people
I didn't mean to interrupt you. There were projection, or they were say that Nigeria is going to disintegrate. That's American had predicted that before, all right? But we said it is not true. It can never happen. But they were delayed, and this is what we are experiencing now. And I think the only way we can solve I don't want to sound like a broken record. We must be fair to ourselves. We must love ourselves as our neighbor. We must accept every religion. We must reach out to the religious houses or close them. Because the imam from the north, they are part of the problem. They educate their people to say that when you are poor, God make you to be poor. That you don't have the right to go to school. That if you are poor, it's only the elite children that has the right to go to school. That mindset must change. And we must also come back to the south side to educate our pastors. That it has been written that our father's house will be turned to a house of a thief. I didn't say all pastors are bad. There are still few good men among them. Religion is part of the problem we also have in our country. I've been to Japan. When a Japanese man promises you something and he failed you, he will commit suicide, he will die. But when a politician or a pastor or a man promises you something in Nigeria, he didn't fulfill it, they will reward him with a chieftaincy title. So if our mindsets change, like I walk into a studio today, everybody looks beautiful without saying the obvious. I walk into a gas station, things are done right. Or the traffic light stopped you. You don't say my name is ultimate equal, you cross the light. Things will change. If we are going to change the situation of this country, we as individuals have to participate in it. We have to change ourselves first. Because, funny enough, if you are going to give a ticket to a governor or to a member of Senate or to a president of this country, you don't scrutinize their CV or their resume. But if you are going to employ a grocery attendant or somebody who wants to work in a gas station, you demand for a master's degree and 25 years experience. It doesn't work. And I'm sure you have more than a master's degree. But today, if you don't have the money, you cannot participate in politics. Because we've seen a situation when governors have been accused of not having the requirements of academic qualifications.
Yeah.
So we need to change things. Because when I was growing up, I read it in our constitution that when you give bribe, it's an offense. And when you take, it's an offense. And today, the policeman will have change in his pocket to give you change of your 1,000. If it's a entitlement, it's 200 there. Naira. So we have a mess in this country. We must be serious. Just look at recently, when the IGP, not one, not two, not three, even the recent one, said there is no more private police again. And today, the police are sold, they're for sale. You pay them 300,000, they give you a police guy. All right? Even in United Nations, United Nations, we have a situation where every country must have certain police that will police certain citizens. We're frustrated of it. We don't even have it. All right? And still, we still have people who are my friends, who are my brothers. They are watching me. They're not telling the truth. They have battalions of police who protect them. As to compare with the divisional police in your area, how can a man have 15 police? What are you hiding? What are you running for? I'm asking you.
I don't have it.
So I know you don't. I don't have one too. But I'm telling you, if the police, that's what I'm talking about, instructions.
Yes.
If you have a signed RGP who made an instruction, there is no roadblock, there is no search and seizure, things will change. I'll tell you something. Before you see the NSAS, I started it. I know a lot of people died for it. A lot of people joined the queue. You will see billboard everywhere. When I was saying that, we must holistically change the way the police operate in this country. First of all, you must pay them attractive salary. Second of all, you must take care of them as a human being. And then you must also stop the extrajudicial killings. I was campaigning that for 4 or 5 years. I took protests to everywhere. The clips are there today before the NSAS takes place. Because I know that we cannot continue like this. And that is why you see there's a report today, there are people now robbing with bike in Lagos. Lagos is not safe. Abuja is not safe. Benin has increased in court killings. Governor Obaseki, my governor, is getting about 700 million. And the last debate he had with Osage Ezeamu accused him of giving the 20 million to the security apparatus, DSS, police, civil defense, Bazinga. He could not explain to us what he's doing with 680 million. We should stop this nonsense of what you call it. You call it security vote that you cannot question. How can you give a man 700 million every month or a man 1 billion every month, and yet they cannot account for a citizen? Where did I get that idea from? As smart as we are, as intelligent as we are we cursed as a people? Nigerians are the best and brightest in the world. I can assure you that. I've lived in Canada for over 3 decades. All right? So something must be wrong.
All right. It has been quite an interesting one right here on Political Insight. We've been discussing with Patrick Eholo.
Okay, thank you. You got it right. Thank you.
All right. Discussing with Patrick Eholo, looking at the way forward, the situation of things on ground, and projecting into 2023. And it's very important that we note that if things are not done properly from now, there might not be space for elections in 2023. Because if police institutions are being attacked on a daily basis, who is going to come out to protect that person who wants to cast his vote on election day? These are things that we need to have at the back of our minds, and like he said, start doing things right. Let's wrap up and just say final words on the program this morning.
Well, I think if we take the right step, I think that, history will remember us for what we do right or what we do wrong. Yeah. I think there's hope. I think we as an individual, we should team together. We should, not let the politicians use us for their selfish interests. We shouldn't see ourselves as Muslim or as Christians or recreational or even as native doctors. We should see ourselves as Nigeria and be conscious of doing what is right at all times.
All right, thank you very much for joining us today. Hopefully, as things go on, we'll have you on subsequent editions of Political Insights.
It's my pleasure having you, and viewers, you have a good day and have the best of the week coming.
All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOS TV News. My name is Dan Nessie Isimeka. I'll see you next time.